every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper. Would it make any difference? Would it change for the better if I wrote you a poem, if I posted a letter? Is it maybe because I never knew quite where I was, then suddenly you told me, baby, you're lost, but I am too. Whatever the cost, we'll make it through. Tell me you're the one for me now, 'cause what am I supposed to do? If you are not the one for me, then tell me now what I could do. If I told you that I don't know where I'm going, don't know what to say, but I go without knowing. If I told you that I don't know what to believe in, don't know how to pray, but I pray anyway. Tell me you're the one for me now, 'cause what am I supposed to do? If you are not the one for me, then tell me now what I could do. Tell me you're the one for me now. I pray that you believe it too, that you're the only one for me, and I'm the only one for you. Tell me you're the one for me now, 'cause
Hello friends, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I just wanted to share that portion of today's video for the sake of just being real. I feel like on YouTube things can so often look so curated, and it can just look like people are leading these happy little perfect lives, you know, homemakers in their kitchen wearing pretty dresses, and it can just look like everybody doesn't have the same problems that we do and they have it all together. I guess I just wanted to share that two truths can exist at the same time. That we can be having a hard day, we can be struggling, but we can also have joy because of the Lord and what He's done for us, and how He loves us and cares for us even in the midst of trials. I love creating in my kitchen. I absolutely love sharing recipes with you guys, but I'm also a whole real human that is on a journey of my own to find healing of body, mind, and soul. And so that is all a very real part of my life that I also feel like I want to share with you guys. So I never want to make it appear like my life is something different than it actually is. I'm a real human that goes through real struggles, and you know, this life is filled with pain, but it's also filled with beauty, and so much blessing. And so I just want to make sure that I'm always being faithful to share both sides of the coin, and be honest with you guys. So thank you for coming along my journey. Alrighty, so some of you may be wondering, hey, she said she was going to share some sourdough discard recipes. Why does she just keep talking? So we are going to get into what I am up to in the kitchen today. It has been a busy couple weeks for me. I've been out of town 2 different times, and this particular week I had just gotten back from a week trip, spending some time with my sister and her family in New Jersey, and I came home to a lot of sourdough discard in my fridge that needed to be used up. So I thought it would be fun to come up with a few recipes to share with you guys of how to use sourdough discard. I've gotten a few questions about how you can use sourdough discard after you fed your starter and you've made your bread and you still have this leftover sourdough discard. So we are going to get into 3 fun recipes for you guys. The first one that I am working on here is a sourdough discard oat muffin recipe. These were blueberry muffins in particular. And I started out the recipe by adding 4 cups of oat flour, 1 cup of sourdough starter, 2 cups of yogurt, 1 cup of coconut oil, melted coconut oil, half a cup of sucanat, which is just very lightly refined cane sugar, and then a half a cup of honey. So I mixed all that together, set it aside to ferment for a few hours. I discovered that you can ferment oats just like wheat with your sourdough discard. So this changed in consistency after I think it was about 3 or 4 hours that it was sitting on the counter covered. It was softer, easier to work, and it had risen a little bit. So to that dough, I added 5 eggs, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 cups of blueberries. As you can see here, after adding the eggs, it's much more like a muffin batter. So I also added about 4 scoops of collagen powder to this. I use a grass-fed and organic beef collagen. Really good for your gut health, really good for your hair, skin, and nails. And it just adds a lot of protein to something. Whenever I'm making some baked good like muffins, that's gonna be more carb heavy, I love to add something like collagen just to throw extra protein in there, make it more balanced for the body and for your blood sugar to handle. And you just get extra nutrients from the collagen, so it's a win-win. So I baked these muffins at 375 Fahrenheit for about 18 to 24 minutes. I would check after 18 minutes with a toothpick, insert it in the middle. If it comes out clean, you know they're done. If it's still runny or batter comes out, then you know that they need to go a little bit longer. But these muffins were really yummy. They're nice and soft and moist and yummy flavor with the blueberries. They would make a great addition for breakfast or just an afternoon snack. This recipe made around 30 muffins, and a tip that I have heard with batch cooking things like muffins is that if you throw some in the freezer, wrap them up really good and throw them in the freezer, you'll always be ready for a guest because you can just pull out, thaw, heat them up in the oven or the microwave, and then you have something ready for your guests to serve them. So that's what I did with some of these muffins. I threw them in the freezer so I can easily pull out for breakfast for Jessie or for guests that pop over. Alrighty, moving on to the next recipe that I made. I did a granola, and I have been wanting to make granola for my husband for so long, and for whatever reason I just kept putting it off. But I'm so happy that I finally made myself do this and had the idea to use sourdough discard for it, because it turned out so good. And my husband loved it, and my sisters tried it and they really enjoyed it as well. So I'm excited to share this recipe with you guys. I started out by doing 6 cups of, I did quick oats here. You can do whole rolled oats, but I just had a lot of organic quick oats that I needed to use up. So I did 6 cups of oats. I did 3 cups of coconut flakes. I did 2.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 cup of sourdough discard, 3 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 cup of melted coconut oil, half a cup of sucanat, half a cup of honey, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of clove. My kitchen smelled so delicious when I was baking this granola. And it really tastes so good too. It's like a warm cinnamon hug. It is so, so yummy. It would be perfect for fall time, honestly, but I am the type of person that really loves fall type flavors year round. So I'm going to be making this granola definitely all throughout the summer for my husband for his breakfasts and lunch and snacks and stuff. Basically, yeah, you just pour all of the ingredients into a bowl and then mix and incorporate them all really well with your hands. And then I spread them out over a cookie sheet. I used some silicone liners in my cookie sheet just to make sure that it didn't stick or burn, because my pans aren't the greatest quality and things can tend to burn easily on them. So I used these silicone baking mats, spread it out over 2 cookie sheets, and then baked at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. Then I stirred it around, and I set the timer for another 20 minutes, but I think it really only took them another 15 minutes. So altogether, it's about 35 to 40 minutes to bake at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. I will have this whole recipe and the ingredients and instructions typed out in the description box below. So check out the description box for, the full recipes and instructions for all of these videos. Alrighty, so the last recipe that I made today was some sourdough discard pancakes. This is a super easy recipe to make and to throw together for breakfast. I did 1 cup of sourdough discard. I did 1/8 cup of melted coconut oil, 3 eggs, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of honey, 3 scoops of that same grass-fed collagen that I used for the muffins. Again, with something like this, especially with breakfast, it's so important to get a lot of protein in the morning. My husband works a very physical job, so when I'm making him things like pancakes, I want to make sure that I'm not just giving him pancakes, so that he can have a good amount of collagen. We usually do it with eggs or bacon or sausage or whatever on the side. But another great way to sneak extra protein in, as I was saying, is adding collagen to your baked goods or your pancakes. So I did about 3 scoops of that collagen in here, mix it all around. As you can see, the baking soda really makes the sourdough discard puff up. So what was only 1 cup of sourdough discard now puffed up to be almost 4 cups. I think this made about 15 pancakes, if I'm remembering correctly. And so pancakes is another thing I love to batch cook. I make like, 10 to 15 at a time, put them in the fridge or freezer, and then I can pull a couple out for my husband's breakfast. It just makes things so streamlined and easy in the morning. If you already have something like pancakes or bagels or bread prepped, you can just quickly toast it or heat it up and then scramble some eggs and you have a well-balanced breakfast. I was really happy with the way these pancakes turned out. They're beautiful golden brown and my husband loved them, and so I would highly recommend you guys giving them a try. You can make these without the collagen. If you don't have collagen on hand, this recipe would work totally fine without adding the collagen, but it's just something that I personally like to add. So I was actually working on those pancakes while the granola was baking in the oven, and you can see the finished product here after it's all done baking and cooled off. It was such a nice consistency. Honestly, I love this recipe, and it's gonna be one that I'll return to over and over again. It had those nice big classic like chunks in granola, and I will say that we discovered that adding chocolate chips to this makes a delicious snack. So would highly recommend this recipe to you guys. I hope you try it out and enjoy it for your breakfast or for snacking, and let me know in the comments below if you guys try these recipes. Again, just want to be real here on days that I film. This is often what my living room looks like. Elliot just goes to town, playing with toys. He moves the couch out, kind of builds a fort. So yeah, there's usually a mess to clean up, but it's the price to pay. I'd rather have him play and using his imagination than just watching something for hours and hours. So the baking is done, and now we are cleaning up together and gonna have a little time together reading books before nap time. Place where animals are kept or plants are grown. Farmers sell the plants and animals for people to eat. Milkers suck out milk. Pipes take the milk into large tanks. See, the milk goes through these tubes into the large tanks. I have many things to do, he said. I will write them all down on a list so that I can remember them.
Red frog.
Then Toad wrote other things on the paper. Eat breakfast, get dressed, go to Frog's house, take a walk with Frog, eat lunch, take nap, play games with Frog, eat supper, go to sleep. Then he crossed out, get dressed. Toad put the list in his pocket. He opened the door and walked out into the morning. Soon Toad was at Frog's front door. He took the list out from his pocket. Alright everyone, that wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed these 3 different sourdough discard recipes. I think they all turned out beautifully, and I'm really excited to share them with you guys and really hope that you will give them a try and let me know in the comments below how you liked them. I apologize that this video was a couple weeks late. I try to get one out every week. Briefly mentioned earlier in the video, the past couple weeks have been a little bit crazy. I spent a week with my sister in New Jersey, and she has 4 beautiful children, and so I just wanted to be present and just be fully immersed in her world for a week and not worry about filming or getting a video out. And then after I got home from her house, I got a really nasty stomach bug and was in bed for a couple days, just completely out of it. And then we had another trip this past weekend to go to. My cousin got married in Tennessee, and so I had like a couple days to prep for our trip, and there was just really no time to film or edit. And the trip to Tennessee was very full and busy, and again, just not a lot of time for editing and getting this put together. So I thank you for your patience. If anybody has been waiting for a new video, I'm excited to give you one today, and I hope you enjoy. I hope that you feel beautiful and treasured and valued today, because you are made in the image of the creator of the universe, and he loves you very much. And I appreciate you guys so much. There's been so many new subscribers, and it's just really exciting to watch this little community grow. So thanks for being here, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I think I already said that. They're just rambling at this point, so I'm gonna sign off, but I'll talk to you guys later, and Lord willing, see you next week.
It was
Bye.
nothing you did. I just felt my low lightning. Now we talk all the time. It's a